How many of you stayed at a really nice hotel, like a luxury hotel? If you haven't done it, you should try it. I know some of you can afford it, some of you can't. I love the service that you get. That's one of the things. It's like very personalized, and there's just something about being able to have that attention like gloated on you. And maybe that's egoic in a way, and some of you be like, that's super ego, but it's nice when somebody can take care of you in a meaningful way. We all love that, and there's different formats of that. And you may say, well, luxury, blah, 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 but we love when we're treated special when we go to a restaurant and we have a great waiter or waitress. We love the way that we're treated when we're standing in line and the line goes quickly and then the person's like ultra nice to us. All of those things, the barista, when she's like super nice, or it's those things that make it special, isn't it? And exceptional service can and should be personalized. The only way that you're going to do that is if you allow yourself to be creative and have an intensive period of time where you and your employees, you have to get everyone engaged. As a leader, get everyone engaged, and you guys figure out how you can do the little things that you can do that makes it personalization. Maybe it's just writing a name, whatever it may be. I'm reminded in the automotive industry, which is, notorious. A lot of people don't like car salespeople. They're like lawyers and politicians. But I've heard stories over and over again about, just little things like one sales lady, she would put a $2 bill with a little note inside the gas thing. So when they got their first tank of gas, say, hey, this is just a little something. Just want to thank you for purchasing the vehicle. And that doesn't cost anything, but it's personalized. Or I heard somebody made like a USB tracks and had like their favorite songs and left that in the vehicle. Or somebody had birth certificates of the vehicle in the service department. And when you went, after you bought your car, you would go and run the tire over the birth certificate, and then they would name the car and put that in the system, and then that would be the name of your car when you came into service to get oil changes and stuff. That's personalization. We all love that. And the list can go on and on, whether it's like Four Seasons, where they're known for looking through the trash and then finding something that you bought or purchased or ate. Maybe it's like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups or whatever. Then they have that laying on your pillow the next day. Those are just fun things that you can do to make someone feel special. And a lot of times it doesn't require a lot of money. It just requires a lot of intention and then building a system and executing on that. Now, what I like to do is reward. I like to reward people for excellent customer service. I did this when my kids were growing up. I don't reward on performance. I reward on how you acted in the situation. So like we had a set of like morals per se. Or ethics, and you can have business ethics, and you reward on treating a customer kindly, not on having 20 sales or highest gross or whatever it may be, as far as like, this person gave me the highest return on investment, let's give them a trophy. Instead, you give trophies based off of your ethics. So writing out business ethics, having them huge on a poster, having them everywhere. And you could take, let's say you write out 5 business ethics or 7 business ethics, take each of those and get some stencil and some paint and put those, everywhere. Have just one in the men's restroom, one in the female's restroom, one in your break room, or all 7 in your break room, right around the wall, at the top, have them. It's very simple to do. It's not that expensive. You can have somebody come in with some stencils and make it look super, super cool. And, a lot of times you can get it done for just a few $100 in all these rooms, or have like a maintenance person do it and pay them extra, and then they can just do one room at a time. But every room that employees gather, or every room that they're in, your sales room, whatever it may be, have your ethics everywhere. And then give performance, whether it's a Starbucks gift card, whether it's free lunch, whatever it may be, maybe cash bonuses. Those are things like whoever gets the most 5-star Google reviews, like legit Google reviews, not just click the 5-star and you're done, because then people are making up a bunch of Gmail accounts and then going on there. But, like actually legit customers, have someone check and make sure that that's a legit customer in your system, and then go through and then reward off of that. You know, these are huge things that are benefiting you. Those 5-star reviews are going to benefit your SEO. It's going to put you number one when somebody looks in your industry. So Google reviews are huge, 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 huge. And that's just one thing that you can do to have some personalization. And everybody should be sending out a text asking for a Google review after somebody does business with you. And they have automated programs like Podium. They're not an advertiser that can do this for you after every invoice is done. They can send a text out to your customer, whatever it may be, not just an invoice. It could be like after every appointment. They can dig into your CRM, pull those out, and then send a text to your customers for however you want. Let's say you're a dentist, and after they do work or whatever, you want to send them a text, 5-star, boom, done. It's that simple, guys, and it's a system that you can set up that's automated, and it just works all the time for you. But when it comes to personalization, one of the things in Admired Leadership, an amazing leadership email that I read all the time, they were talking about this, about how in luxury hotel brands, how they deliver service. And it's how they treat their employees. And what a lot of people don't know is the recognition, empathy, and respect that they give to their employees. Like, for instance, you can stay on the property free of charge. They encourage that because why? So you may think of this. I hate business owners that just think of cost. When it comes to culture, it's costing you a shitload of money. And I'm going to say that again. It's costing you a shitload of money to not have the right culture. And if you have a penny pincher culture where everything's about the dollar, good luck on having great talent. Good luck on having a good culture. Good luck on actually making money. You're going to be in this scarcity mindset, and everybody's going to be in that, and you're going to have zero creativity. And you're like, well, Jason, I'm so afraid they'll be spending money. Well, there's ways. You need to be creative on the ways. What are your KPIs? Well, I don't have those. Exactly. It's lazy. It's a lazy business owner, a lazy leader that does not put KPIs and does not coach their employees. That's a lazy leader. That's not being a good leader. If you're not coaching your employees, at least weekly, each of them, and maybe you're the business owner and you have 5 leaders. Those 5 leaders you should be coaching. You should be pouring yourself into them. You should be going to having lunch with them at least once a month. If you're a leader of leaders, going to golf with them, whatever you enjoy to do, maybe go have some wine or whatever it is, a nice restaurant, whatever it is you enjoy to do, you need to bring one of your leaders along. If you don't want to, then you need to fire that guy or girl. Because I'm telling you, if you can't go out with them and have an hour, 2-hour long conversation and get the real scoop of what's going on, and you don't want to do that, then you need to get rid of that person. Why are they there? They're not a fit for you? Get rid of them. It's that simple. Well, the employees, I don't care. You can hire somebody that you actually enjoy spending time with and that you'll enjoy coaching. What do they do when think of a coach in a sports team? What happens if the employees? What happens if the player's unruly? No one likes the player. He goes away, no matter how talented he is. Or they have tons of conversations with them to make sure that it's he or she's like fixed. And if they can't fix them, whether it's psychologist or whoever, if they can't fix them, gone. The team is way more important than any coach, than any a 1-star player. It doesn't work that way. You can't have 1-star leader that's shitty. So how do you create this customer service like a luxury hotel? How can you create that? You're like, well, I have a coffee shop or whatever. Perfect. It doesn't matter. You have to get your vision, your goals, and your details of what you want that 5-star service to look like, and you need to train in that. You need to coach in that. It needs to be a sharp focus. I'm talking where you're sick of it. That's when it takes an employee at least 7 to 10 times of you as a leader saying something to them for them to finally start to get it. Not to execute on it, to start to understand your vision. Number one problem I always say all the time is leaders do not talk about vision enough. They do not pump up their, and there's just some fake motivation. I'm talking a realistic vision of what you have for each person. Do you have a vision for each of your employees of what you would like to see in them? How they would grow? in the organization? You want long-term employees? Why haven't you set? We do that in our relationships, I hope. I hope we're having conversations with our partners about how we're going to grow and what we expect out of each other and how we can respect each other and how we can love each other. You know, most people lose respect and then love in a relationship. When you lose respect from somebody, it's done. And then some of you are shaking your head and agreeing with me right now because you know this. So this is something that you have to maintain, and you have to put it out there as a leader. You need to be ultra clear. You can't rely on them to do this. It is you to put this into sharp focus. And how do you do it? Through sharing it over and over and over with encouragement. Encouragement is the best. Let me give you an example. I'll use this. Emily, love what you did on this and this. This aligns with the vision perfectly of what we're trying to do. Fits right in with our culture. I talked to this person, this person, and this person. They said they loved it too. Doing an amazing job. Can't wait to see you next week for our coaching. Just wanted to stop by real quick and let you know. Boom. That lasts a whole week. That encouragement lasts a whole week. You want ROI, return on investment? Start encouraging your employees. Start rewarding the things that you want to see, the behavior that you want to see. Start rewarding. I'm telling you, start rewarding customer success and 5-star. If you begin to, because then other people will be like, oh shit, I need to do this, this, and this. Oh, I'm not doing this, I need to do this. I'm telling you, your people are not dumb. If you think they're dumb, then why the hell did you hire them? And if you have dumb people, like you think they're dumb, that's your fault as a leader. Because you ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to take 100% responsibility for hiring them, correct? So one of the things that they do is they allow in these 5-star hotels, these luxury hotels, they allow them to stay there for free. Why? Because they want them to experience a service. So they have them go to another place, no one knows, and they have them there and go, and then they experience others. So what are they going to learn from when they're in the experience? You need to allow your peeps to do the same. If you have multiple locations, have secret shoppers say, hey, I want you to go over here and I want you to be, and you know, if people don't know that you're an employee, great thing to do. Great thing to do. Experience your brand. Enjoy it. If you make coffee or food, let them eat. It's not a big deal. They're not going to eat you out of house and hold. Put a limit on it. If you're worried about it, what does it cost you? If you had, let me give you an example. Okay, you have somebody in your restaurant that you've hired and you think that they're stealing food from you. Why would they do that? You're like, well, it's not easy, it's hard to find help. Blah, 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 blah. Did you take the time to have a conversation with them about that? Do they know that they can have a limited free food? They can have a lunch. They can have one meal on shift. These are things that you can do. And you can reward them. You could reward them with free meals. Maybe are you keeping track? I don't understand why it's not commission-based or bonus-based in fast food restaurants. You're paying them $15 an hour, whatever it is now, $18 an hour. Okay, there. Why not get an ROI out of them instead of this just clocking in hourly? Chris Rock has the best statement on this. I love him. He says, when you work at a minimum wage place, the owner's basically telling you they would pay you less, but they can't. So this is what they pay you. That's how much you're worth to them. And that isn't that funny? I think it's awesome, but there's so much truth in that. Allow your employees to experience and see what the world sees from you. It's going to change the way you do things. The power of perspective. Holy shit. Wow, my employees can get a whole new perspective of what the customers are seeing. I see this all the time where people pretend like their business, especially small businesses, shame on you if you do this. So say it again. Shame on you if you do this. I walk into some places and they have like their kids coloring everywhere, the TV on, and their teenager just blaring the TV. This is like walking into a waiting room, whatever. Dogs running around. The list goes on and on. Baby gates and babies crying. The list goes on and on. You don't want to go into a restaurant or a place, a small business that has that. You would think it's unprofessional, but yet you're willing to do that. And I get it in emergency situations and stuff like that. I get it. You're working a business, you're working 12, 15-hour days. I get that part. But think of what the customer thinks from the minute that they pull in. Does your driveway lines, when's the last time you painted those? How does your sign look? Is it clean? Is your door, is it being, 2, 3, 4 times a day being Windexed? How cheap is that? How much time does that take? Are the chairs being wiped down? Are the magazines new for the month? Whatever it is that you have. Do you have iPads for people to use? Cheap ones. You can have Kindles with a bunch of books on it and then let people just play with the Kindles. Whatever it is. It's so simple, guys, to think of what a customer wants and make these little changes, train it in your employees, bring the vision out, hold them accountable, reward them. A $5 Starbucks gift card and rewarding in front of everyone. Trust me, try that and see what happens. Try it a few times and reward your employees for giving exceptional customer service and give them a $5 Starbucks card, but make sure you do it in front of everybody and reward them and be very specific. Susan, I appreciate the way you treated this customer. You did this, this, and this, and that is what we want to see here. That is you fulfilling the ethics and the vision of what ABC company is all about. All you got to say. They'll be beaming. I've seen people get in tears or get choked up because they're getting rewarded for the work that they've done in front of others. And then you give them the Starbucks gift card. You're like, well, it's $5. Oh, I hate cheapskates. I've never seen a cheapskate do well and be super successful in business. It's like I heard an old billionaire say this, and it's so awesome. He said, you're not going to be a billionaire and be good with people. You can be an asshole and be a multimillionaire, a millionaire, but you won't be a billionaire. You're putting limits on yourself by being a cheapskate. You're putting limits on yourself by not shifting your perspective and putting your employees into the perspective of a customer. So I encourage you guys, get involved in customer experience. It is the thing that's going to differentiate you between you and your customer. Stop spending all that shitload of money on stupid marketing that doesn't work. Old school marketing that you can't get any ROI on, you don't know, and take that money and give it as bonuses for customer experience. Get rid of the billboard. The $10,000 a month you're paying for the billboard, get rid of that and take that $10,000 and put it in a budget for customer experience. And start giving it back to your employees. I guarantee you'll get that. You'll have an ROI on that $10,000. Guaranteed.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.